John, you'll want to hear this. Next week we'll be here. The following week is our revival. We're going to hop that week. Okay? So week 3 will be after Thanksgiving revival. And then we'll continue on the same path until the Foothills revival. We're going to hop that week as well. So we're going to get 12 full weeks in. All right? So what I'll do is I'll get that typed up. The college will end the last class will be the 19th of May, and also that same week we're going to be having a cram course. Brother Alan Barker will be teaching that on missions from 9 to 1 on the 23rd. Okay, but I'll get that to Brother Bass. I've already got it typed up. All I got to do is email it to him, and we'll be done with college by the 23rd of May. So that's good. That's good. I like going 12 weeks instead of 13. We can get it done faster. With only 2 classes, having a test on week 12 is fine. When you have 4 classes, you need a test night, all separate by itself. But I will say this, my class, I will be doubling some classes this quarter because I'll be in Kentucky. I'll be over at Shield of Faith one time. I'll be in Charlotte another week. So I'm going to be doubling some classes, and I will let y'all know that. In fact, let's plan next week to have a double, okay? Next week, plan on going to about 8:15, 8:20, okay? And then the next class, you won't have that. All right, Matthew chapter 6. Got some of my folk that decided to take this as well, and I'm glad. And I wish we had more. Biblical finances. And let me say, finances aren't biblical. And tonight I want to deal with this subject, money, a secret subject. A secret subject. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Money is spiritual. So I don't believe that. Well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out money is spiritual. I'll say 5 things kind of like just to start a little disclaimer here, all right? First thing is, I do not know the answers about finances, all right? I don't, but God's Word does. Second, so I'm not going to try to come in here these weeks and act like I'm a scholar on this subject, because I'm not. I do know God's Word, and I can study God's Word, but I don't know all the answers. Number 2, finances are a major ministry concern. If you're going to be in the ministry, you need to have your personal finances in order, and you need to have your ministerial finances in order. All right? Third thing I would say, as a disclaimer, I have made some very foolish financial choices. And I have also made some wise financial choices. Third thing I'll say is about your textbook. And that is Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. I understand if you listen to his podcast and you listen to his radio program, he's going to let a word fly every now and again. I know he says he's a Christian. Christians shouldn't cuss. Somebody say amen. Amen. But he will let one fly. But I will say this, the principles of this book are life-changing. How many of you have ever read the book? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Brother Barker. So most of you, this is new. This is a new book to you. How many of you know about his baby steps? I know the ones that's read. Oh, wow, I'm excited. So a lot of you have never read this. Y'all need this class. That's good. That is exciting to me. And I will say this, and I'll go into this more later. But about 8, almost 9 years ago, this book changed my life. Okay? It changed my life. I went through a horrible ministry change. And I'll just tell you straight up, can y'all just handle this? Can I just talk to y'all straight up? When your salary drops $95,000 from one year to the next, first of all, it's a wonder the IRS didn't call when I file my taxes. But when it does that, you're in for a world of hurt. And I'm going to tell you, had I not gotten a hold of this book in the year 2010 and made applied the principles to my life, we would have filed bankruptcy. But God gave me this book right at the right time, and I'm telling you, it is a life-changing book. And that's all I'll say about that, as far as going. Now, I want you to get all you can out of this class. I want you to get all you can. Now, it's already gotten more quiet right now than any class I've taught over the last 2 years. And it's an uncomfortable thing. But I want you to be comfortable. I want you to get engaged, all right? I want you to not feel condemned, but I want you to feel strengthened, okay? I want you to feel strengthened. So I want to talk tonight about the secret subject of money. I've got 4 simple points, and they're not alliterated, but all this is in your notes, and I want to get through it, all right? Here's point number 1. My money is my secret. All right? My money is my secret. Money is an uncomfortable subject. You want to get it quiet in your church.
Yeah.
Just start talking about money. In any way, shape, or form.
That's true.
It's an uncomfortable subject. Many people are just so dogmatic that it is a private subject, that you shouldn't talk about money, that you shouldn't talk about politics. And a lot of the reason is, a lot of people don't want to talk about money because it gets too real, right? It gets too down to where the rubber meets the road. And sometimes it's because maybe they feel shame about some of the mistakes they've made, or they may feel they may not be doing as well as others. But here's the deal. You're never going to do better financially until you are aware of your financial situation. Mm-hmm. And being in the dark doesn't help anybody. And you would be shocked at the people that we're around every day of our life who are completely oblivious to how bad a shape they really are in. Amen. And I know that to be true. And I'm talking about it's 23 years, almost 23 years of pastor now. Brother Barker could probably give so many illustrations as well. People sitting in my office, and the root of all their problems was they turned their back on their finances, and it caused a whirlwind. And I'm telling you, before long, infidelity got involved. Before long, there was hatred in the home. Right. I'm telling you, finances is a huge, huge part. So why does money and talking about money have to be so secretive? Here's a survey I read. I study stats. I study surveys all the time when I start studying the subject. I want to see what other people are saying about it. According to Ally Bank, 70% of Americans think that it is rude to talk about money. 70%. And then here's what the people said, that they are more likely to disclose their income, 39%, over their savings, 30%, or over their debt, 29%, to their family and their close friends. You hear that? They're more likely to discuss their income, but then savings drops and then debt. We don't like to talk about debt, all right? And it doesn't end there. People don't like to talk about how much they pay for rent, how much their mortgage payment is, or how much they spend on their internet service. Well, I mean, ask somebody what they spend on their internet. Well, ain't none of your business. Why does your internet bill have to be a secret?
Yeah.
Unless you're ordering things you shouldn't be ordering. I mean, you know. But I'll ask people, what do you spend on your cell phone? You spend that much? Let me tell you what I spend. I spend $50 a month for me and my wife's phones. Y'all like that? I drop a call every now and again because service is not as good as Verizon. But Verizon, number one, is a liberal outfit out there in Radio Land and support all kind of liberal causes. So, you know what? If it means I drop a call every now and again to keep my bill at $50 flat, no charges over that, no taxes, no fees. Hell, is everybody all right? Yeah. I come home one day a year or two ago, and I looked at Rebecca and I said, I don't care if I have to use a homing pigeon. I ain't paying this bill no more. And that's exactly right. I mean, I remember when we used to have rotary phones. I mean, we're so spoiled rotten right now in this nation, and because our wants are out of control, we have got a generation that's completely haywire when it comes to money. Talking about money is seen as taboo among even close family members. Mm-hmm. Even married people don't talk about money.
That's true.
There are married people that don't talk about their finances. What? That don't make sense to me. Me and Rebecca sit down and we talk about our money and we talk about where it's going and how we can save and how we can do better. I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable, but I am going to tell you the truth. I'm trying to help you. According to a survey done by Fidelity, 43% of the people that they surveyed did not know how much their partner earns. And 36% were unaware of their investments, where they had their investments. That is almost 1 out of 2 people that they surveyed, Fidelity surveyed, that didn't know how much their partner made. And 36%, 1 out of 3 of them didn't know if they had any investments, and if they did, what they were invested in. How about this one? University College London found that people were 7 times more likely to talk to a stranger about sex, extramarital affairs, and STDs than they were to discuss their salary. You can talk about all that, but you can't talk about your salary. So, that's just crazy, isn't it? So money's a topic that influences all of our lives, whether we want to believe it or not. And if you're somebody that feels that money talk is offensive or personal, we're probably going to be a pretty uncomfortable 12 weeks. Because we're going to talk about it. If you're not talking about money, how much of a raise are you to ask for? If you're not, what did the Bible say? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And the way you get knowledge is communication. All right? And so when you don't talk about money, you may not know how much of a raise to ask for. You may not know how to negotiate for the best salary you get. You may not know what the average selling price of a house is in your area. Oh, I'll trust my realtor. Are you that dumb? No. Don't do that. I don't trust nobody.
That's true.
It's my money, and I want it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my money. I work hard for it. I'm not trusting anybody. Even if Dave Ramsey said there's a endorsed local provider, I don't know that I'll still trust Ramsey.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, this man wrote this book, filed bankruptcy. I guess it's about 25 to 30 years ago. He filed bankruptcy because he had been told and taught that to make money, you had to spend money. And he got himself in a financial mess. And the beauty of it is he's now worth $200 million. And you ought to listen to his podcast. Don't just listen to me in this lecture. Start listening to Dave Ramsey tonight. Turn off the TV tonight and listen to one of Dave Ramsey's podcasts. Go on YouTube and listen to Dave Ramsey. I'll promise you, it will help your life. You're going to be better for it. I'm trying to help you. I could teach a 1,000 subjects out of the Bible. This is what God put on my heart. Because I know people that would have been on the mission field and they're not there. And they never got there. Because they were so far in debt, they could not get out of it. I had a couple walk in my office one day, talking to me. They started saying this. I said, okay. I said, first question is, how fast can you get out of debt? Are you in over your head in cars? Are you in over your head in your house? Do you have a second mortgage? Well, what's that matter, preacher? This has been about 14 years ago. I said, it matters everything.
Yeah.
I said, you just tell me you want to go to the mission field. How fast can you get out from under any debt?
Yeah.
And you know what we did all the math? And began talking, and they were about $60,000 upside down. That if they sold everything they had for what it was worth, they were still going to be owed $60,000. Well, guess what? No mission field for them.
No.
It's an important subject. Now,
Yes, sir.
you look at me. You look at me. Trevor, you're still kind of young. And y'all look at me and listen carefully. Y'all are in the best possible location in your life to hear what I'm teaching.
Yeah. Amen.
I don't know what all these other folks have. But Charlie, at 17, 18, now are you 18? At 18 years of age, how old are you?
Getting ready to 19.
Getting ready to be 19. Don't ever pick up a credit card. Don't ever.
Amen.
You need to chop your hand off.
That's right. Yeah.
You know the scripture about credit cards. If thy eye offend thee,
Yeah.
pluck it out.
Yeah.
If thy hand, that's in reference to credit cards. If thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It really ain't, but it applies real good.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, you can live on a whole lot less than you think.
Yes, sir.
That's
Right.
If
true.
you wanna have a
That's
lot of
true.
money, learn to live on a budget right now, 18 years of age.
Right.
I wish somebody said, Brother Jonathan told Brother Granville and told somebody, teach them what you would want them to know as a young preacher. I'm gonna tell you what I'd teach you. Above everything else, above what books to buy, above what prayers to pray, above what preachers to listen to, I'm gonna tell you what I would tell a young preacher.
Amen.
Above everything else, get your finances
Yes, sir.
in order and get them in order fast.
That's right.
Do that.
I think it's huge. I think it may be the biggest thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't believe that. All right, go ahead. You need to know. You need to know whether your expenses, utilities, phone bills, insurance are normal or unusually high. And more than anything, without talking about number, it's going to be hard to realize that you need to improve your financial situation.
Yep.
Yes. Being in the dark ain't going to help you. Knowledge is power. Knowing more about money will help you. So, money is secretive. It's my money. Why do I talk about it? It's my money. Number 2, knowing your family's finances. This is just kind of a start tonight, all right? And we're going to get into some more stuff. But I want to give you this stuff. If you take anything out of this lesson tonight, it should be that fully understanding your family's financial situation is a must. There are financial horror stories where one spouse doesn't even realize that they're hundreds and even thousands of dollars in debt.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got some stories right now. I got a story right now in my office where a man confessed to his wife that he had run up $55,000 on credit card debt and she didn't have a clue.
Wow.
How you gonna counsel that situation?
Run.
Or one spouse thinks the family's financially sound. You know, she just trusts him. He's the breadwinner. He works and he does. When in reality, the truth is that it's the opposite. And then I've heard some people say they have no idea what their monthly mortgage is or what their rent payment is. I don't know what the husband pays. I don't know. Well, my wife takes care of the checkbook. Baby, you need to sit down with him.
Yeah.
You need to be involved. In fact, a lot of times the women can be the greatest asset in this.
Yeah.
Me and Rebecca have been married almost 25 years, and I've always taken care of everything. But she is well aware. You know what? When I finish writing out the bills for the month, I'll let her know, hey, everything's paid. I pay everything at the first of the month. I pay everything at the first of the month. I pay everything at the first of the month.
Amen.
I pay everything at the first of the month.
Right. Amen.
I even pay it sometime before it's due.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah.
What? You know, my daddy taught me this years ago. He said, if you sign on the dotted line that you'll pay by the 5th of the month and you pay on the 6th of the month, you're a liar.
Yep.
Well, that went over good.
That's
Good
true.
night.
Yeah.
I said, my daddy taught me
Yeah.
that if it's due on the 5th and you pay it on the 6th,
Right.
you're a liar.
Right.
Because you signed on that paper, I will pay by the 5th of the month.
Yep.
Well, what if things happen? Things do happen. I've had them happen.
Yeah.
That's good.
I made an agreement with God that I'd pay something on the first day of the week.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the first one that gets written.
Amen.
Yeah.
First one.
Yes, sir.
I don't even balance everything out yet. Oh, I got to make sure. Okay, car payment, mortgage, insurance. Let's see if I can still pay my tithe.
No, sir.
No. No.
Tithes, mortgage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do. Hey, listen, I can do without my phone,
Yeah.
but I gotta have my home.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
I can do without the internet and Netflix and Disney Plus, but I gotta have my house.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yes.
See, preacher, you can't really be serious that you're being this elementary. If you pastored a while and dealt with some of the people I deal with, you would tell the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, folks.
right.
I hope that this is all like over your head and, oh man, I got this down, ain't no worry. But let's just be honest. Let's just be honest with ourselves. We need to know.
Yep.
More shocking is how some are completely unaware of how much debt they have and can't even estimate how much they owe. Or if they do make a guess about it, the spouse blurts out, no, that ain't right. That ain't right. Well, how much is y'all's mortgage? Well, I think it's about 800. No, that ain't right, honey. Well, I thought it was 8. No, that ain't right, honey. If you ask me exactly right now, you could ask me exactly right now, and I can tell you the penny.
Yep.
How much money is in my bank account? Right. Well, I don't know what Rebecca's been up to since I've been in college. But I know what it was when I checked it, and I check it about 3 times a day.
Yeah.
My mom and daddy always made fun of me when I was a kid because they could ask me, even when I was 5 years old, they could say, Jeremy, how much money you got in your pocket? And I could tell them to the penny how much is in my pocket. She said, that's nuts. No, it's not. It's being smart.
That's right.
I can tell you how much is in my savings. I can tell you how much I've got in retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, small numbers are not easy, not hard to remember. I can tell you how much my mortgage is. I can tell you how much my phone bill is. I can tell you how much my internet bill is. I know it to a T. I can rattle it off. Bam, 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 bam. That's a good thing to be.
Yeah.
It's a guessing game. Amen. But I can take, you're going to really think I'm crazy here, but I can take you my computer right now, and we can go back to 1999. And I can show you my budget for the last 21 years. That's weird, ain't it? Y'all okay? I'm a freak, ain't I? 21 years. Anywho. All right, let's talk about this. The leading causes of divorce, you know what they are?
Money.
Infidelity, finances, no communication.
Yep.
And 2 of them are very closely related.
Mm-hmm.
Finances and communication go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll promise you infidelity's spinning off of these 2.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. I'll ask you now, do you and your spouse have regular business meetings? Call her into order, my friend. Hear ye, hear ye. It's time for our monthly business meeting. Sit down, woman. No, I'm picking. That was completely out of line. Your job has a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Your church has a budget.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that work at home?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you need to sit down and regularly budget out your money. A family who has regular money talks and budget meetings is more likely to be financially successful and secure and happier than a family that doesn't.
Yes.
Amen. And there's a lot of ways for these talks to help you and your family. But you got to be spiritual about it. Carnal people can't have budget meetings.
Right.
Blind gamers, they can't have business meetings.
Yeah.
No, it ain't gonna work. But you can learn to work together and succeed if you're both putting forth effort toward financial goals. You can tackle them as a team and are much more likely to have a positive attitude. And I'm gonna say this right here: don't take this book home tonight, read all of it, and then lay it on your spouse tomorrow.
That's right.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't spending that no more. I heard a lady the other day talking on the radio with Dave, and here's what she said. She said, Dave, honestly, when we started doing your $0 budget, she said, I didn't know about it. She said, but you know what? She said, used to, when I would go to the grocery store, I'd come home and my husband would say, how much money did you spend? And I never knew what to spend. So if I spent too much, we would have an argument. She said, now at the first of the month, with the EveryDollar app, which is a good app, by the way,
Amen.
and I know exactly what I can spend. She said, I'm liberated. I know exactly. And when I walk in the door and we've allotted $200 for groceries, and he says, how much do you spend? And I said, $197. She said, he gives me a clap and a smile and says, you did it. And she said, instead of it causing division, it causes us to love each other more. Y'all good?
Yeah.
A lack of money communication can lead to financial infidelity. Here, according to Forbes, listen to this, 20% of those in the United States, 20% in the United States keep financial secrets. 20% keep financial secrets from their spouse. 7% of people in the United States have a secret bank account. Huh.
Wow.
And secret credit cards that they keep from their spouse. Knowing your financial situation will help you keep budget. Understanding your financial situation means you can create and keep a budget that works for you. You know more about the amount of money you're spending and whether or not you're living paycheck to paycheck and more. And by the way, that is a sad, sad world to live in, is paycheck to paycheck. I'm not gonna get too far in my finances, but my treasurer came to me Sunday. She said, "Richard, you ain't cashed the last 2 paychecks." And I just laughed. I said, "No, they're sitting in my desk." Does that offend anybody? She said, "Man, I wish I could leave some checks just laying around." I said, "Well, I had some money." I said, "I didn't have time to go to the bank either week." I said, I said, "We don't spend a lot of money once I write out bills, so I just threw in what I needed out of my savings." I said, "I'll deposit that into my savings." Are everybody okay with that?
Yep.
It's a listen, do y'all understand how liberating it is to not have to rush to the bank to make sure something's covered? To not have, "Well, I can't do it." I promise you, you can. I promise you, you can. And it's like the old timers used to say, "Can't never could do anything." And as long as you have that attitude, you're going to just be in a quagmire of monetary stress the rest of your life. And I refuse to live that way.
Amen.
Being aware may prevent everything from falling on one person. Everyone should be aware of the financial situation. It's not fair for one person to manage it all, and you would be in a rude awakening if something happened to the person that is handling it all. And I, by the way, as a pastor, I have dealt with that. I have had spouses die on both genders. I've had men die and the wife go into a panic. "He paid all the bills. He knew where the insurance was. He knew where this. Oh, what am I going to do?" And then guess what? I have to be Mighty Mouse, blow my chest out. "Here I come to save the day," and help her figure all that out. Where if he and her had been sitting down together, business as usual. You're already going to have to deal with all types of grieving. Much less having to scrounge to make sure. Yeah. What about the times when somebody didn't have their finances in order and left children with nothing? Left mothers with 3 or 4 children with nothing. Nothing. And then it's my responsibility as a pastor. And I always step up to the plate. Don't anybody get offended at me. Don't anybody get offended at me. But I'm just telling you right now, sir, it is not the church's responsibility to take care of your children.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Now, if you leave them high and dry, and you don't, and by the way, everybody's got small children right now, doesn't matter your age, you can go get you a $20 policy, term life insurance to make sure they're taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you can't figure out where to find $25 to $35, $40 to cover some expenses and make sure they've got a few $1,000s to at least get started, then you are really in sorry shape.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's offensive to me. Well, just hang on. We ain't nowhere yet. I'm trying to help you. When you're open about money in your relation, you're less likely to have financial surprises.
Yeah.
Last year I did real good on my taxes. I did good. Today I got a call. I didn't do good this year. Not good at all. Last year I got money back. This year, it's coming out of my checking account. I'm not happy about it. I really expected a good lump sum. And guess what I got? I got a big lump sum.
Yeah.
But you know what I told my wife when I called her? I said, "Baby, it's all right." I said, "I got money set aside. We got it took care of." Isn't that a blessing? It's called emergency funds.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 3, subjects for money discussion with your spouse. I done talked about business meetings. Number 1, have a set time. And this is in your notes, so you don't have to write everything. Some of this extra stuff you could write down, but a lot of this is in your notes. Have a set time to talk about family finances. Brother Barker, I ain't trying to put you on the spot. You and Miss Jan, y'all sit down, don't you? How many years y'all been doing that? Because I've seen you do it. 40 years. 40 years. 40 years, you and Miss Jan sit down and lay that money out. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. This is what's left. This is what's left. All right, we're going to designate. And by the way, if you don't learn to designate extra money, it will disappear.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Magicians. I'm telling you, will disappear that money so fast. I'm telling you, it'll disappear faster than Jimmy Hoffa. I'm telling you. You need to understand. Some of you younger like, who's Jimmy Hoffa? Have a set time. Number 2. Talk about financial goals and dreams. And not just goals and dreams, but discuss why you have that goal. Why do you want to reach that goal? Number 3, share how much debt you have. Talk about, well, I don't want to talk about my debt. You got to talk about your debt. Because in order to talk about the matter you're going to get, and you're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I hate debt. Can I give you a Bible? The borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah.
If you really want to get technical about it, you really want to get technical about it, you really want to get technical, I don't know if we should owe for anything other than a house.
Yeah.
That's right.
Amen.
Yep. And I'm really contemplating whether we ought to do that, but I understand it's such a big thing.
Amen.
Boy, that ain't over good.
Go ahead.
Think about a house, that's an investment.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. That jacked up Chevrolet ain't an investment.
That's right.
That's true.
Mm-mm. And by the way, my 12-year-old Toyota, it drives just as good as that brand new 2020 Toyota Tundra.
Amen.
And it's a whole lot more peaceful.
Oh, yeah.
Whole lot more peaceful. A whole lot more peaceful.
Amen.
I just can't see it. I just can't see it. A friend of mine the other day went out and spent $82,000
Good
on a
grief.
truck.
Wow.
My first house.
Yeah.
I could have bought 4 of them from him. My first house was $15,250. Got me a special, my friend, from one of my best friends. Bought me a trailer. It was all, hadn't even been lived in, but he sold it to me. He had bought it for his daughter, and then she got divorced. And I hate divorce, but that day I was glad. Sorry, Benny, if you're watching. And we did. My first house was $15,250, and my monthly mortgage was $192.35. I can still remember. My, I wish I could go back and live in that single wide trailer again. But you know what? I just can't see. Y'all do understand. You can go buy a car with 20,000 miles on it, and you let somebody else take the hit
Oh, yeah.
of what you were going to take when you drove off with a brand spanking new car.
That's right.
Dumbest thing anybody can ever do is go buy a brand new car.
That's right.
I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to help you. Share how much debt you have and how you're trying to change it. The more you talk about debt, the madder you're going to get. And the more motivated you're going to get. Number 4, if you think of a great way to save money, share it with one another. Meditate on it. Going down the road. Wonder how I can make some extra money. Wonder how I could save some money. And if something ding, 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 man, you won't be able to, because you got financial meeting. Well, you might even call an impromptu financial meeting. Honey, we got to have a meeting. I got an idea. All right, y'all think I'm great. I'm trying to help you. Number 5, set priorities from greatest to least. Number 6, each spouse, this is a great idea, should go privately. These are just some suggestions I'm giving you. This ain't in your book. Each spouse should privately put on paper their concerns, their goals, and their desires for their money. So you got a record of it. And something you can pull out later and say, this was our goal. We reached that one. This was our desire. We reached that one. Oh, this is a big one. Oh, this is a big one. Always, y'all listening? Always talk about money in the we and us,
Yes, sir.
and never the me and you.
Yeah.
Always talk about money with the we and us, and never about me and you. Throw selfishness out of the equation. You are in this thing together. There's something in the Bible about 2 becoming 1.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
You're right.
But isn't that in there?
Yeah.
But not at BB&T. Not at Wells Fargo. No. I'm just going to tell you right now. I believe separate money is a violation of Scripture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I said I believe separate money in a marriage is a violation of the marriage vow.
Yes, sir.
I am dogmatic on that.
Yes, sir.
It's not
Yeah.
to the point I'm going to make anybody mad. I'm just telling you what I believe, and I know it's true.
That's right.
2 shall become 1. Me and Rebecca, we both have separate incomes. but we have a joint account.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how sorry a husband I am. Miss Rebecca never even gets to deposit her check. She just gets it, hands it right to me. And it wasn't long ago that the check she gets, the person just quit handing it to her and just started handing it to me. Because every time they handed it to her, she should give it right to me. My treasurer at church, Rebecca cleans the church. She gets paid, and Miss Rhonda no longer gives her check. Guess what? It's in mine, because you know what? Every time she give it to him, because she knew. Oh, and there'd be some women livers that step back, that control it. Well, he's worse than Hitler and Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say.
Why don't you call my wife up and ask her if she feels like she's in prison? No, we are in this thing together. Separate money's a violation of Scripture. Hold on, time out. I'll say something in a second. Can I say this without anybody getting real mad? Rebecca and I never spend major money without discussion.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Yep. If you go spend money, and I'm talking about money, I ain't talking about $50. I ain't talking about $60. If I spend over $100, $150, I always let Rebecca know it.
Yeah.
Well, you're henpecked. So much I roost on the headboard every night. You're henpecked. You have to ask permission from your wife to spend money. No, I want a home.
Yeah. Amen.
I want a happy home. I want a joyful home. I want my wife to know she's important.
Yes, sir.
I want her to know, hey, you matter to me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Amen. It's called communication.
Amen.
Right.
Number 8, talk about your mistakes and your successes. Here's a good one. Go home tonight for you couples. Now, if you're here and your spouse is not here, wait a few days. Talk a little before, all right? Read the book together. But if you're here tonight, Brother Jonathan, Jeremiah, Ashley, and Oscar, and your spouses, y'all come home tonight and go find 3 things that y'all can sell immediately.
Yeah.
Go home tonight. We got junk sitting around everywhere. If you ain't used it in 6 months, sell it.
Yeah.
Put it on a credit card. Sell it. Put it on your car loan. Sell it. Is everybody listening?
Yeah.
And when you get done selling those 3 things, go find 3 more things.
Yes, sir.
Even if it's a kid. Huh? You got to. I'll take them. Sold. Here's a good one. Never have a salary competition.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Each spouse needs to express thankfulness for the other's contribution to the financial family business,
Amen.
no matter how large or how small.
Amen.
Number 11, allow brainstorm ideas with one another for making more money or saving more money. Well, preacher, I don't know how to make more money. Turn off the TV.
Try.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed how the juices will start flowing, and you'll come up with ideas when you're sitting there looking at a blank screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 hours of TV in a week,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of money could be made in 30 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed if you just go, I can't make no extra money. You'll be amazed. I told you a little while ago, our salary dropped $95,000 in 1 year. So how'd y'all make it? We put out flyers. We'll clean your house.
Yeah.
We'll mow your yard. And guess what we did? We started a family business. Me and Rebecca and Lydia started cleaning and started mowing. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. Number 12, oh, this is good. Above all else, learn to listen and not lecture.
Yeah.
There are many ways you can start talking about money with others in your life, and it can really help out everybody involved. Now, how does talking about money make you feel? How does talking about money make you feel? All right? I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable. But how does talking about money make you feel? I've been trying to be funny and all. You say, well, I don't think we should discuss money. Well, then you need to tell that to Jesus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because Jesus, he wouldn't have went over well as a pastor in the average Baptist church, because he openly discussed things that made people uncomfortable.
That's true.
And one of them was money. One reason, look at this, 38 parables in the Gospels, and 16 of them are concerning how to handle your money and possessions.
Wow.
In the Gospels, 1 out of 10 verses deals directly with the subject of money.
Wow.
In the Word of God, there's a little over 500 verses on prayer, less than 500 on faith, more than 2,000 on money and possessions. 4 times the amount of verses on money and possessions than there are on prayer or faith.
That's good.
Oh, money's not a spiritual issue. I believe it is.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, if there's a problem in your life concerning money, it is a spiritual problem. And I'm going to deal with that in another lesson. My money's my secret. Knowing your family's finances. Subjects to discuss with your spouse about money. Number 4, and here's where I wanted to get to. Number 4, and this is the reason we're in this 12-week study. Everybody listening? This is good. You are not alone. You are not alone. If you are feeling a weight of condemnation right now, okay, and I don't know anybody's finances in here. I don't know anybody's finances in here. All right? But I'm telling you this, you're not alone. If you've got some problems, you're not alone. Americans do a pretty poor job of saving their money, both in terms of retirement and rainy day expenses. And the extent of the problem will surprise you. Listen to this now. And by the way, there's only one legitimate reason for not saving money. Y'all want to hear what it is? It's when you're going like crazy to pay off debt.
Yes, sir.
That's the only reason you shouldn't be saving money.
Amen.
And if you're not working to pay off debt, and you're not saving money, you in a bad shape.
Yes, sir.
And it needs to change, and it needs to change tonight. And you need to go get real with God about it. And then I'm thinking about taking this whole series to the church. Because I'm telling you, it's one of the most needed I know of.
Yes, sir.
The problem in America is we love our food and our fun.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
That's true.
We spend too much on going out to eat, buying new clothes. My wife gets so mad at me. When are you going to buy some new shoes? Well, she hadn't told me that lately because I love my shoes. Now I've been going and getting some. It's amazing what a little freedom can do for you. But I'm the world's worst to wear a pair of shoes until it rains in them.
Yeah.
I do. I don't believe, I ain't going to spend money that I don't need to spend. And buying new clothes or involving yourself in an expensive activity, sometimes you have to look at people and say, we can't go tonight.
Yep. Yep. Right.
Oh, we got a credit card. Let's put that meal on a credit card. I know we ain't got no money in checking account, but they are our friends and they asked us to go get a $25 steak, so let's just do it. And by the way, debit cards, they're easy to swipe too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm going to say something right here, and I've been saying this for about 15 years. I told this to my former church. If your needs are not being met, it's because your wants are out of control.
Yes, sir. Right.
If your needs are not being met, it's because your wants are out of control. You say, well, preacher, I know someone that's an invalid. I know someone that's handicapped. I'm not talking about extreme situations. I'm talking about good old boy, hard-working American. If your needs are not being met, your wants are out of control. Many people's excuses for not saving money or things like this. Well, I haven't got a raise in years and the cost of living just keeps going up. Well, that's true in a lot of cases, but a major reason we're not saving is simply because we love to spend our money. Burning a home. Saving habits are bad. Listen to these statistics. Y'all hear me? 42% of American workers, 42%. That's almost 1 out of 2 of American workers live paycheck to paycheck. And that includes 25% of them that make over $100,000 a year. People making 6 figures and living paycheck to paycheck.
It's crazy.
10 years from being a millionaire, living paycheck to paycheck. If your salary increases, keep your budget where it's at.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a raise. I can go afford that new car.
No.
Come on down. You're the next contestant to get your hindy and burn. But I'm going to go ahead and put my hand up first. That I'm not living on the budget I lived on when I was 25 years old. Nobody else going to join me? How many of your budget went up with your salary? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I told you it was gonna be uncomfortable. Let's go and get uncomfortable.
yeah,
You've increased your budget when you increased your.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Some of y'all lied, but a lot of you were honest. 29%. I want y'all to get a hold of this. 3 out of 10 people in the world, in America today, 3 out of 10 families have less than $1,000 in their bank,
wow,
in their savings. 50% of Americans have less than 1 month's income saved. In this room, there's about 25 people. On average, that means this half of this room, if they lost their job, something bad happened, you got about a month before somebody's going to have to help. The personal savings rate is 4.4%. That means this: out of every $1,000 earned, the average American spends it all but $44. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. The personal savings rate in America is 4.4. That means $1,000 turns into $44. Millennials have a savings rate of -2%.
good night. Wow.
-2%. Y'all didn't hear that.
Wow.
That means they're living on credit cards.
Yeah,
Yep. That means they're racking up more debt on top of student loans, on top of skyrocketing rent prices.
yeah,
Approximately 10 million households in America don't even have a bank account at all. Nearly 1.9 billion active credit card accounts in the United States. Active.
wow.
1.9 billion split among 199.8 million. That means that the average American has 10 credit cards.
Wow.
Crazy.
Total U.S. credit card debt to this year, right now, is at $793 billion. Americans spend $70 billion playing the lottery every year, and that is the #1 way people say they're going to retire free. By winning the lottery.
Wow.
What's your retirement plan? I'm playing the lottery. #1 answer.
Wow.
That's an average of $300. $300 a year on average, the average person spends on the lottery. And I didn't spend any on the lottery last year. And a lot of people ain't played it.
Yeah.
If you do play the lottery and you want a tithe, it's 1522 Austin Trap Hill Road. Hell yeah. I will take it, keep them cards and letters coming. The devil's had it long enough. Somebody say it. Number 11. Here's another statistic, and I'm just about finished. 52% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 or unforeseen expense without going and having to borrow it from somebody or something else. I said 52%. That means 1 out of 2 households, if they have a $400, not $4,000, $400, unexpected, rainy day, $400. 1 out of 2 people have got to go see mama or uncle or brother or their boss. Hey, can you get an advance on my paycheck? I just had $400 come up. You don't believe that? You pastor for a while, you're going to find it to be true.
Right.
I don't want to be that kind of burden.
No.
I don't want people to say, oh, here he comes again.
Yeah.
I bet he's going to ask me for $20.
You're right.
Wonder why he got them cigarettes in his pocket if he ain't got $20.
Amen. Amen to that.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
only 17% of the population have an emergency fund that could last for at least 3 months. 2.5 million Americans took out car title loans last year, not to buy a car, but to cover other expenses. 2.5 million people took out a car loan to cover other expenses. Only 18% of Americans are confident, very confident, that they have enough saved for retirement. In order to withdraw $5,000 a month for 30 years, you need $1,060,000 in retirement savings. That is assuming a 6% annual investment with returns and a 2% inflation. In contrast to the previous statistic, the average American at 50 years of age, the average 50-year-old has only $42,000 saved. But to retire and live comfortably, he needs $1 million. So he's $1,060,000. So he needs $1,018,000 more. That's the average American. 36% of Americans are not even saving for a retirement at all.
No.
And by the way, if you're an independent Baptist, fundamental, judgmental, temperamental preacher, you need to listen to me. We don't have a retirement plan.
Right.
No. You're right.
And if you think Social Security is going to be, it's social insecurity.
That's right.
That's true.
We don't know if it's going to be there. And even if it is there, it's rice and beans, baby.
That's right. Yeah.
Take responsibility.
That's right.
Take responsibility. Now is the time. If you start saving, if you wait to start saving at 45, you will need to set aside 3 times as much each month to retire comfortably as someone who starts at 25. Wow. Did you hear that, Charles? I don't think you did. It needs to ring loud.
Yes, sir.
That paycheck every month you get, you need to tithe 10%, need to give extra, alms, missions, things like that.
Yeah.
I understand. But you need to take 15% of it now and start investing immediately. Every year, if you got a full-time job at y'all's age, more important than a girl,
Yeah.
well, you need to max out a Roth.
Yes, sir.
Right now. $6,000. Go max it out. As soon as you can. Go put it up. You know how much it's going to be worth? Millions. Millions. If I'd have started at your age and had somebody told me that, I'd kiss them right on the mouth. But they didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody sat me down in our Bible college and talked to me.
Right.
They didn't. I'm telling you stuff to trying to help you. All right? This does not have a place for your name. You can cut that off.